Good morning, students. In my previous video, I started the chapter Rural Development, in which I discussed about what does rural development mean and what are the challenges for rural development. And I also discussed the challenges of rural credit. Today, I am going to start this topic, that is sources of rural credit. Students, farmer need credit, and farmer usually take three kind of credit. First one is short term credit, second is medium term credit, and third one is long term credit. Short term credit is basically required for purchase of inputs like seed, fertilizers, pesticides, and medium term credit is required for purchase of machinery, construction of fences, digging the wells, and long term credit is required for the purchasing of additional land or for carrying out permanent improvement on the existing land. Now student, I will discuss if farmer need credit, from where the farmer is able to get credit. There are two sources of rural credit. First one is institutional sources and second one is non-institutional sources. Okay. Non-institutional sources are also known as traditional sources. And one more name is conventional sources, and these are basically landlords. Farmer used to take credit from landlords, village traders, or money lenders. Another name of money lenders is sahukars. Okay, these are basically three main sources. These are non-institutional sources. These are not institutional sources. These are non-institutional sources. And another name of non-institutional sources is traditional sources. Generation to generation, farmers are used to take credit from traditional sources. These are landlords, village traders, and money lenders, which are also known as sahukar. Okay, and non-institutional sources accounted for 93% of total borrowing of the farmer and the beginning of first 5-year plan. But by 1981, the institutional sources emerged as a principal channel of rural credit. Now I'll discuss what are the institutional sources. What are the institutional sources in our country from where the farmer is able to get credit? These institutional sources include: first one is government. Second one is cooperative. You must remember these names, cooperatives. Then third one is commercial banks, and fourth one is regional rural banks, Kshetriya Gramin Bank. These are the institutional sources. Okay, what are the institutional sources? These are government, cooperative, commercial banks, regional rural banks. Now I will discuss one by one. Before that, according to the data, institutional sources means these sources account for 7% of the credit. Only 7% of the credit need of the farmer at the beginning of first 5-year plan. This data you must remember. That kind of question used to ask in first 5-year plan, what is the contribution of institutional sources in rural credit? That would be 7%. Okay, but now it has increased to around 66% according to 1981. Out of total institutional credit, cooperative credit contribute nearly 15%, and commercial bank, cooperative here, and commercial bank about 75%. all if we talk in sense of total institutional credit, farmer used to get 75% of the credit uh, farmers are getting from commercial bank and 15% from the cooperatives. Apart from substantial expansion and flow of credit by commercial bank and regional rural bank, Grameen Bank, another name is RRB, the cooperative credit institution has emerged as important institutional agency offering credit support. Okay, now I will discuss one by one. First one is, of course, first I will discuss cooperative credit society. Again, this is a institutional source of rural credit, cooperative credit society. First one, cooperative credit society provide adequate credit to the farmers at reasonable rate of interest. Reasonable rate of interest. Cooperative credit society give loan to the farmer at reasonable rate of interest. This society also provide guidance. First thing, they provide credit to the farmer at reasonable rate of interest, and second thing is they provide guidance. What kind of provide guidance? What kind of guidance? They provide guidance in diverse agriculture operation which are related to raising crop productivity. Okay, and currently cooperative account for 60 to 17%, as I discussed, 16 to 17%, 16 to 17% of rural credit flow. I'm writing over here the important thing that you must remember. Rural credit flow means 16 to 17% of rural credit is provided by cooperative credit society. These society are to ensure that timely and rapid flow of credit to the farmers. This is most important thing about cooperative credit society, that timely and rapid flow of credit to the farmer must be given. And second is elimination of money lenders. Why? Because money lender used to take a huge amount of interest to the farmer. So it is very important to eliminate money lenders as a credit agency. This is non-institutional credit agency, and money lenders should be eliminated, because money lenders, landlords or village trader used to take very high rate of interest to the farmers, whereas institutional sources provide credit to the farmers at very low reasonable rate of interest. Now next one is, as I discussed, these are the institutional sources. First one is cooperative, that I discussed, cooperative credit society. Second one I'll discuss about, because commercial banks, basically because major contribution in rural credit given by commercial bank and then cooperative I discussed. Now next one is commercial banks. In commercial bank, major contribution is given by State Bank of India. Though we have in our country there are various commercial bank, public sector bank and private sector bank in our country. 19 banks are nationalized bank and commercial bank. Among all those banks, State Bank of India play a very important role while providing credit to the farmer. So it would be better to write like this, like State Bank of India, and other commercial bank. State Bank of India and other commercial bank. That is another institutional sources of rural credit. The State Bank of India was set up in 1955. You must remember, State Bank of India set up in 1955 with the focus on rural credit. The government realized that rural credit need could not be met by the cooperative credit society alone, and that commercial banks would play a very important role. This promoted certain nationalization of certain bank in 1969. In 1969, government nationalized private bank. The nationalized commercial bank through their branches expansion program were directed to offer credit directly to the farmers as well as indirectly through the cooperative credit society. Okay. Now next source is RRB, that is Regional Rural Bank, Grameen Bank, Kshetriya Grameen Bank, Regional Rural Bank, that is RRBs, and Land Development Bank, that is also associated with Regional Rural Bank, Land Development Bank. Okay, RRB and Land Development Bank were set up to promote. These banks are exclusively set up to promote credit supply to the farmers, particularly in remote rural areas and backward district. These banks operate at the district level and are under obligation to focus on credit needs of weaker section of the rural population. Okay, so I discuss about these institutional sources like Cooperative Credit Society, State Bank of India and other commercial bank, then Regional Rural Bank and Land Development Bank. Few more institutional sources of rural credit. These are, now next source of rural credit, institutional source of rural credit is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. In short, we used to know, you must have listened about NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD is an apex institution handling policy, planning and operations in the field of rural credit and related economic activities. What is NABARD? NABARD is apex institution handling policy, planning and operation in the field of rural credit. Okay, that is a very important institution which exclusively work for rural credit. Okay, and now what are the function of NABARD? That you also know, because that is very important topic related to rural credit, because NABARD is an apex institution and handling all the policies, planning and operation in the field of rural credit. So what are the main function of NABARD? The first, as I discussed, that is apex institution and apex funding agency also for the rural credit in especially in rural areas. Second one is, we can say that it take appropriate measures to improve the credit delivery system. The bank focus on restructuring of credit institution and training of personnel. Next important function that we can say that coordinate. NABARD work as a coordinate the rural financing activities of all credit institution. Credit institution and maintain liaison with Government of India, state government, Reserve Bank, and other national institution concerned with policy formulation. And one more thing which is very important, that is related to NABARD or functioning of NABARD, is undertake monitoring. NABARD also do monitoring and evaluation of project refinanced by it. Okay, in simple form, you should understand that what is the role of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, for the commercial bank that are functioning in our country, whether public sector or private sector. Likewise, same role is played by NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD also functioning as apex institution, especially for rural credit, and NABARD also monitor and evaluate the project which is refinanced by it. Okay, and NABARD also coordinate the rural financing activities of all credit institutions. So student, these are the institutional sources of rural credit. Okay, these are the institutions from where the farmer are able to get credit at reasonable rate of interest, and these institutions work under the government machinery. Government continuously watching these institutions, and these institution in fact is very beneficial for the farmers. So these are the institution. Again, I repeat it. First one is Cooperative Credit Society, second is State Bank of India and other commercial banks. Okay, State Bank of India is exclusively mentioned in here because SBI, that is established in 1955. Initially, it was established basically for the rural credit, but in 1969, this bank is nationalized, and their other government gave responsibility to this bank, not only to provide credit, but there are also lots of functions that a State Bank of India used to do. Next is Regional Rural Credit and Land Development Bank. 15% credit, farmer used to get credit from Cooperative Credit Society and 75% from State Bank of India and other commercial bank. Regional rural banks and land development banks also provide credit to farmers, and regional rural bank, which is mostly established in rural areas, and those areas, basically in rural areas, where farmer can easily get credit from the bank. Next is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. This is Apex Bank. This is Apex Banks for all those banks which provide credit to the rural to farmers. Okay, and there are lots of function of NABARD. First function is first itself suggests that NABARD is apex institution handling policy, planning, and operation in the field of rural credit. Second is coordinate the rural financing activities in all credit institution, and third one is monitoring and evaluation of project refinanced by it. So these are the institutional sources. Here I discuss sources of rural credit. First one is institutional, second one is non-institutional. Non-institutional, where farmer used to get credit, and another name of non-institutional sources is traditional sources of credit, rural credit. Here money lenders, landlords used to give credit to the farmers, but these farmer used to get this credit at very high rate of interest. These are very exploitative way to get credit, and farmers used to exploited by these money lenders and landlords. But so government, after independence and in first 5-year plan, government focus on main focus was on agriculture, and for this government started various measures to provide rural credit. Okay, so these are institutional sources from where the farmer can get credit at a reasonable rate of interest. There is no exploitation to the farmers. Okay, so now next point I will discuss about critical evaluation of rural banking. Okay, so, yes, these are the institutional sources that is established opened by the government, but in spite of this there are lots of problems which are facing Indian farmers. So in my next video I will discuss about it.